Hey y'all, I'm Lucy and I made spinner cards for the event. Of course, now I can't find them. This is like one of them. This is a little gnome spinner card. So you wind him up and then boop, boop. Isn't he cute? Isn't he cute? Oh, I see people from Ohio, Montreal, California. Priscilla's from New York. Oh, Carlos is from Toasty, Texas. Texas is kind of famous for being toasty, isn't it? But I'm in South Carolina. I'm in upstate South Carolina, and we've actually had pretty good weather lately. So I wanted to start off with something I realized after I made my card, an easier way to make the spinner. I think in my video I told you to tape the card to the background, tape the string to the background, and then add the figure to the string. But afterwards, I realized it's much easier to glue the little figure to the string before you tape it to the card. So you have your little figure, your little snowman or your penguin already made, and then you tape and glue it. So I hope that's clear to everybody. And oh wait, let me see. Here I got the penguin card. Let me wind him up. I always have to wind him up, you know. And I experimented with a bunch of threads. I think this one is fishy. I think that, oh, this is like invisible thread. And let me see, where are the other ones? I put everything near me, but then I don't remember where I put it. So I experimented with, like, this is actually the easiest, like a cotton thread. Twine, baker's twine works really well for spinner cards. Let me see, what else? I use fishing line. I don't really like fishing line because it stretches. It stretches out. So those are the main things I wanted to tell you before we got started, that I actually figured out a better way to make the card by gluing the figure to the string. Okay, so people are asking about the houses. It's kind of ironic that I'm in this summit because I don't make a lot of cards until I started working with Brandy, and then I started making cards that do have houses. Like this one's from my book, Playful Pop-Up Houses. Let me show you better. So at first I always included a house in my card. So this is like a 3D card. It's so cool how it folds together. And then this one is full pop-up card. So let me kind of do it. Isn't that cool? So, and that one's also in my book. Okay, so let me show you some of the houses. This is, card makers might like this. This is like a little Advent village I have, and these come apart. A design, I think they're like 17 different designs, and you can fold them flat, but you can do them as like a little candy box. This one's fun. Tiny paper camper. I thought that was really fun. But I really love Halloween houses. So this is from, this is one of my Halloween books from 13 Handcrafted Halloween Houses. But let me show you, I think you may want to see the Storybook Cottage. Let me get the Storybook Cottage. I told Ardith, she's kind of the host, to make sure the tech works. I said, I made sure I put on good pants before I stood up. Okay, so this is the Storybook Cottage, and this is a free file on my blog. And I talk about adding texture and doing the snow. It's based on a picture I saw in a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer children's book. So, and then, okay, so then I did this one. This one has gingerbread tape on it. I mean, gingerbread paint. I mix spices with the paint so it smells like gingerbread. Okay, I missed that question. Can you wrap the string around the tape as you attach it to the card? I don't wrap the string around I guess you could, but it'll stick up more. I think the important thing is let me show you. Just firmly hold it and put the tape down. And I use this, this little tape. So just put your finger there, or you could actually tape it with painter's tape, just a little bit of painter's tape. I don't have top down set up, so I can't really show you, but okay, look. So you use a piece of painter's tape and that holds the top, and then you pull it taut so that it's tight, but not enough that it bends the card, and then tape that one with the fancy double-sided tape, then take off the painter's tape and put the two double-sided tape on too. Oh, Lucy's in the house. I never thought about that. I want to have a video. I used to be a doctor. When in my real life, I was a pediatric ER doctor. And one of my friends said my website should be named Dr. Lucy's House Calls. But I thought that would be confusing to people because they would be expecting medical advice. So, but anyway, I like that. Lucy's in the house. I may use that. Natasha said she's made spinner cards before, but not the snowman. The snowman's a little bit hard, mainly putting the little arms on. And the problem, and I debated, I mean, I did all sorts of different ways, is that the white, you want the arms to be strong. So I left the white portion behind it, but it leaves a seam. So what you can do is get like a colored marker and color around the arms and then glue the arms on. That works. That works better. Okay, so you were asking about my books. I really have 3 main books. One, the first one I made is it's some of these houses, actually those 2 houses kind of at the top. It was Create 12 Simply Super Miniature Houses. I just wanted people to have an idea of how to make a little house, kind of starting from a simple, like that. That's the simple house, to more advanced houses. And then but really I like Halloween because I'm kind of wonky, you know, I'm not exactly straight, and I don't paint really well. So I really like Halloween houses. So then my next book was 13 handcrafted Halloween houses, and it's really one of my favorites. So I did lots of different ones. This is Hilda's Haunted Abode. This is a batwing house, so I made it in the shape of a batwing. I put string underneath so it mimicked a batwing, and then the little coffin house with a little graveyard on top. I just thought that was fun. Okay, so that's 13 handcrafted Halloween houses. But then Brandy asked me to be in a card making summit. I'm like, uh-oh, you know, it's not my specialty. I've made them before and made them, you know, there's some free ones on my blog. But then I'm like, I'm going to come up with a way to make different pop-up houses. I was going to incorporate houses with my cards. So that's what I did. Somebody asked how helpful is my kitty. You know, they are a pain when I'm making stuff. You know, if you have strings hanging around, you know, they'll like steal them and run off with the stuff. They're a pain, but they, you know, all of them just kind of showed up and I saved them. So, and then people were asking about how did I go from being a doc to a crafter. Well, I've always loved to make things. And actually I built a real house, and meaning my brother and we kind of designed and built a house for him. Once I was done with that, and I put a lot into it, like researched how to make it energy efficient. And then I had to, I needed something to do. And I'm like, well, I'd always loved little houses. So I saw a Martha Stewart wreath that had little houses. And that's what what I started doing. I started making them, and then I got really into it. Somebody asked if my houses are made out of cardstock or stronger. I use a relatively lightweight cardboard. It's like 22-point cardboard, and they are stronger. They're almost like wood. Let me knock. I have to find it. Which one I had? Okay, like this one. If you're going to paint gingerbread paint on it, you really need it to be cardboard, but mine are very sturdy. This is like 3 or 4 years old. And that's what's so cool about it. It's like a permanent gingerbread house, but all of these are made out of cardboard. You can make them out of cardstock, but I think if you're going through all this trouble, you need to they need to last. So that's why I use cardboard. And then I paint them. The painting is fun to me. And this, you can see why I like, I use crackle paint for this. I just like those details. I glued each strip on individually and I edged it with black. So that's just fun. Somebody's asking about finding cardboard. On Amazon, what I use is called medium weight card. They call it chipboard. It's not really chipboard to me because it's so much more flexible. And I just, you can buy it there. Actually, because I was working in the ER, they had, those arm bracelets you get when you go to the ER. Well, they all came with a piece of cardboard behind them, and it was just perfect. So my friends sent me cardboard, and I've got stacks of cardboard like this. So that's where I got it. But you can do medium weight chipboard on Amazon. That's the main thing. Jerry asked, how long does it take to make a house? It sort of depends. Like if I'm going to add each piece of siding individually and this is like a rusted roof, so I painted it and distressed it. That may take a couple of days to make the crackle siding, cut the siding, distress the siding. But some of them, let me find an easy one. Hildegard's wouldn't take long. That one's easy to do in a day. Cut it out, paint each strip, glue the strips on, and that's about it. So, somebody says they have heavyweight chipboard. Creative Treasures has heavyweight chipboard. Okay, somebody asked if I gave the houses out in the ER. Rarely, but what I do is I used to sell them for Habitat. I thought Houses for Habitat for Humanity was a good thing. So I kind of stopped during the pandemic, but I'm actually pretty overloaded with houses. So I need to get some out there too. And I liked what, yes, I use my Cricut. I use either a Cricut Maker or a Cricut Explore Air. Creative Treasure says support small businesses rather than the giant company Amazon. Yes, I don't know where I can buy cardboard in my town though. I use 2 different kinds of glue. When I'm doing my house is out of cardstock, which I do, I use the Barely Art glue. It works. And then the other thing is I guess this is backwards. This is quick dry tacky glue. Aileen's quick dry tacky glue. I use that for, especially like, see, Hilda's house has a curve and you got to make it stick. So I use really thick. This is a thick glue. And actually, I usually store it upside down in this little cap so that it's easier to squeeze out. And then, let me show you. So I put it on, and then I want the roof to stay without me holding it. So I use a little painter's tape to hold it. Otherwise, I'm like, la, 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 standing there for 10 minutes doing it. Oh, I have lots of videos of making houses. It's on my website. It's actually YouTube, Paper Glitter Glue. Yeah, so I have videos. So Tracy's being very nice. Habitat, repurposing cardboard, kid doctor. Yeah, I was a good kid doctor because I was like goofy and I wasn't intimidated. I'd go in, even on a 2-year-old, I'd go in and go, hey, I'm Dr. Lucy. And I'd shake their hand and they're like, and then I don't let go. I just keep shaking and they're like smiling. So I really had a fun time when I was, even though I was in the ER. Oh, yes, yes, you can go to my website, paperglitterglue.com, and just type in, like, if you wanna know a Halloween house, in the little search bar at the top, Halloween house, or if you wanna do a Christmas house, just something like that. That's probably the easiest way to do it. So, yeah, so I appreciate your question, Brandy, that's very nice. Oh, I thought I was done, so I think we got a few more minutes. Um, yes, Cricut has 2 main cardboards. They really have chipboard. It's 1.5 millimeter chipboard and 2 millimeter chipboard. And I actually bought some the last time I went to my craft store because I wanted to test it. And and I haven't done that yet, but I wanna see. I think you have to use the knife blade, and I've never used a knife blade. I just use actually the fine point and just, like, go over it a couple of times. Okay, so somebody said she got in trouble acting silly. I said, okay, somebody asked, yes, I almost always include PDFs. I think it's easier to see than always have it as a SVG, and I can put labels on it. So I almost always put PDFs in my file. Okay, I'm going to show you. Somebody asked me what I'm working on next. I have to get up for this one, but it's really cool. It's a workshop on making a wreath, like the first thing that inspired me to make little houses. I'll be back. Y'all, it's just around the corner. I'm just right here. I'm coming. I'm coming. Okay. Years ago, I made this wreath and I'm updating the files. All the patterns are free. 12 houses for Christmas, and all the patterns are free on my blog, but I'm updating them and I'm going to do it as a workshop. Isn't it cute? So, yeah, that's what I'm working on rather than a book. Yeah, although I have so many ideas, like I want to just add more houses to the book. So anyway, I'm just doing lots of stuff. I tried to measure it. I don't know, Crafty Kim, I don't know what you're measuring, but anyway. Oh yeah, that's Alley Cat. She is the nosiest kitty. She's a photobomber. Yeah, so I'm really happy about the wreath. Alley Cat's now eating it, so I have to hang it up high because for some reason she really likes to chew on the edges on the wreath. I ordered that wreath from Balsam Hill. It's a really expensive one, but I think the next one I'm going to do a Hobby Lobby one and just use flocking and make it white. And so I don't think it matters that you got $150 wreath versus a $40 wreath. Yes, creating is a good therapy. I think we are made to be creative. I think it's an important part of our lives. And so when I'm like doing this stuff, I'm just so happy. Even when I'm doing something tedious, like I told you about the siding. So it's like kind of meditative. So I really like it. So, I do think creativity is important. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to try to have it done by this Christmas. The wreath making, how to put the houses on the wreath, and I think it's going to be good. But I have to finish it. I have to finish stuff. So what happens, and I know this happens to you too. You're like so many ideas, and then you get this idea, and then it goes to this idea, and then it goes to another idea. And so the problem is getting them done, is to putting this stuff in. So let's see. Oh, Brandy Johnson said she's using this to decompress from law school. Okay, I went to med school, but we had exams all along. In law school, I think they have like one exam at the end of the terms. Like, yeah, I wouldn't have made it through law school, but I did okay in med school. Okay. I think Oh, somebody said get frustrated with gluing things together. Well, that's one reason I make Halloween houses, because the little glue balls don't matter. You just smear some black paint on it. Now I try to be more precise when I'm doing like I'm gluing houses together. I try. And that's one way barely art glue. It really, I don't even use the precision tip. I just keep a pin in there and I can apply it really easily. Yes, I have PDFs for the spinner cards, and I have them. Oh, I didn't really tell you about the VIP. I had them for the VIP cards too. Let me see if I have those. Yeah. So I think so. I put them in there. VIP. Look. I love Baby Chick. Yes, if you're on my mailing list, you will hear about the wreath making workshop. You're helping me. You're helping me to get motivated so that I will finish it. Yeah, and the other thing about barely art glue is it doesn't seem to stick in the nozzle as much. Yeah, okay, so people are oh yeah, the back card. Where is it? I don't know how I do this. I like have it 1 minute and then it goes away. There's the back card. Yeah, in the VIP tickets, I glued it. See, I glued it together somehow. Oh no, it's taped that way. I wonder why I taped it. Okay. So a lot of them you can make this way or this way, but obviously the back card does not work in the vertical position unless you had a much larger piece of paper, cardstock. Okay. See, isn't he fun? But that's in the VIP. No, somebody asked about a spinning house card. No, I didn't do a spinning house card. I just thought, that's just kind of odd. So I didn't really do a spinning house card. But I guess you could shrink down some of the templates in my book so that it could spin, but I don't have a backside to them. You're right about that. Okay, string. You can use, I think, baker's twine. The nice thing is it's thick, so it's pretty easy to tape down and secure in place. And this is like DMC, cotton thread. I experimented with fishing line. It's kind of stretchy, so I'm not real enthused about that. I used an invisible thread. I used quilting thread. Quilting thread is strong and relatively easy to use. So, and then, wait, what was the other one I used? Carpet. I think this is like carpet thread or buttonhole thread. Oh, I know. The invisible thread. I thought it would be the best option, but the invisible thread is actually very tricky to use and it really stretches over time. And so after a while, your little figure suspended in the invisible thread starts sagging. So I think go pick something easy and do like the twine or just the cotton threads, one of the cotton threads. That's what I like the best. I found it the easiest. Tasmanian Devil spinning card. That would be hysterical. That was like way beyond my imagination, but you must have a very good imagination. Okay, so Brandy Johnson asked about cardboard. She said 22 point. I mentioned 22 point because it cuts really easily with your Cricut, but a lot of it is also 30 point. So either 22 point or 30 point, whichever one, it works fine. It works fine. Yeah. And then remember, I told you at the very beginning, I found it was much easier to glue the figure. I don't know about kite string. I bet kite string, it may be too heavy. See how thick it is. But it's much easier to glue the figure to the string before you attach the string to the card. I think I did it a different way in the video, but I always experimented. And later I'm like, oh, this is much easier to glue it to the string. A doctor and nurse spinning card. That would be funny. Yeah. I used to dance for the patients. One time I was sewing a little kid up and I'm like, I think I was singing Wheels on the Bus, which will haunt you. Wheels on the bus. And so I'm like holding my hands steady and I'm sewing the kids up, but I'm singing Wheels on the bus, go around. I don't want to get it stuck in your head. Oh, yes, and then that's the other thing about it. You can use any figures. If you've got dies and stamps and stuff, you can use any of them in a spinner card. They're just so fun. Oh, no, Wheels on the Bus. Okay. So anyway, I'm Lucy. My website is paperglitterglue.com, where I'm like covered up with all sorts of stuff. My book, Playful Pop-Up Houses. There are 5 main designs, but each design has several different houses. It's like 100 pages. And I was pretty detailed about showing you how to do it. So, okay. Yeah, you got to sing in the ER, especially the pediatric ER. You know, you can really get away with it. They might think you're crazy if you're looking at adults, but you can sing to the kids and they love it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Y'all are so nice. Bonnie Smith, Angela, Sonia, thank you. I didn't expect to like these lives, but they are so fun because you get to interact. You know, we've all been stuck in our little creative bubble, and it's so nice to actually interact with people. So even through video, this is like my favorite thing of being in a summit, being in an event, an online event. Carlos, Beverly, Melinda, thank you. I appreciate the kind of vote of confidence. So I think they have to get ready for the next person. So I don't know when she's like going to go click me away.